And now, welcome to 7 Questions with Emmy.
Brought to you by Timberline Home, whose showroom in Idaho Falls is waiting for you to explore. Hey guys, welcome back to 7 Questions with Emmy. The second season of A Real Bug's Life comes out on Disney Plus in January, and today I'm talking with a real-life bug expert. Tim Cockerill has a PhD in tropical insect ecology from the University of Cambridge and is obsessed with bugs. Tim, it's so good to talk to you today.
It's great to be talking to you, Emmy, and you are absolutely right. I am obsessed with bugs. I find them completely fascinating.
Good, I didn't know if that was too much of a step or not, but
Good, that's good.
Are you ready to get started with the questions?
Absolutely, yeah, I'm excited.
How did you get involved in A Real Bug's Life?
Yeah, so the people that were making this incredible series, A Real Bug's Life, we're trying to tell the stories of all of the bugs that are all of these stories that are going on outside in the real world. And they needed basically a bug guy to help them tell those stories. So I got involved to help them find out which are the best stories to tell, which are the most interesting stories to tell, which are the stories that have never been told before. And we've done all of those things. We brought brand new things, really, really exciting things to the screen. So yeah, that's how I got involved.
So why do you love bugs so much?
It's really interesting, isn't it? So I started out becoming interested in bugs when I was growing up, when I was about your age actually, and I lived in the northeast of England, and we just had a kind of normal garden. It's not a particularly exciting place when it comes to bugs. It's not like a tropical rainforest where you've got big, huge bugs flying around. We just got kind of normal sized insects. But I used to go out into the garden and I had a little book that I would use to identify all of the bugs. And I realized that every time I went out into the garden, I'd find a brand new bug that I'd never seen before. And so I tried to collect these bugs, but collect the observations of them and look at them, find a new one in the book. And then I go out the next day and there'd be a brand new bug that I'd never seen before doing something interesting. And so I realized that, God, if I just become interested in bugs, I'll never be bored in my life. And that was over 30 years ago, and I'm still not bored of bugs yet. I'm still finding new things in the garden that I've never seen before.
That's cool. Do you have a favorite bug?
Okay, yeah. Well, so I've got 2 answers to this question. One of my favorite bugs is a giant praying mantis. Do you have praying mantises where you're from? Have you seen a praying mantis?
Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah, so the praying mantis, which is a kind of insect, it's got 2 big. The first pair of legs have big spines on them, and they use them to catch other insects out of the sky. They catch flies and moths and things. And there's a particular kind of praying mantis called the devil's flower mantis, and that lives in the forests of East Africa. And it has a scientific name as well, which is called Idolomantis diabolicum, which is my favorite scientific name. And it's about this big. It's a huge praying mantis. Wow. And it looks like that. You have to Google it after this, because it's the craziest insect you've seen. It's almost as if you got an artist to design the craziest insects you could ever imagine. So it's got big projections on its head, and it's got kind of leafy bits on its arms. And when it's threatened, it does this amazing threat display where it tries to pretend to be an animal that's bigger than itself, and it holds its arms out like this, and it's got big eye spots on its wings, so it looks like a big owl or something really dangerous. It's really amazing insect, fascinating thing. But I have a second answer as well, is that so every species that is discovered by scientists has a common name, and it has a scientific name as well in this language called Latin, which is not spoken anymore. And there's a species, it's on the wall behind me, and there's a species called Megaphragma cockerilli, and that's the species that I discovered and is named after me.
That's so cool.
So that's my other favorite insect, and I discovered it at the top of a tree in a rainforest deep in the jungles of Borneo, about 40 meters high up in the rainforest canopy. It's a tiny insect, less than 0.5 millimeter long. It's one of the smallest animals on planet Earth. So it's smaller than we call them full stops, or a period on a piece of paper. The tiny dot on a piece of paper. It's just smaller than that.
Wow, that's so cool that you discovered it.
Mm.
What do you think the biggest misconception is that people have about bugs?
Yeah, okay. So lots of people think that bugs are very different to us, and in some ways they are. They have 6 legs and 2 pairs of wings and antennae, and some species even have 5 eyes on the top of their head. So in some ways they are very different to humans. But at the same time, they're very similar to humans. And in fact, all of the bugs that we filmed for this series, A Real Bug's Life, we filmed insects trying to look after their families, or trying to find food, or trying to find a nice place to live. And they're all the things that we do too. And so when most people see bugs as these, or many people, lots of people see bugs as these kind of strange, creepy, crawly things, I think just remember that they're just trying to make a living. They're trying to live their lives in the same way as we're trying to live our lives. So they're very different to us, but as well, they're very, very similar to us too.
Yeah. You've traveled all over the world studying bugs. Do you have a favorite place that you have visited?
Oh, it's a really good question. Yeah, the great thing about bugs is that you can go pretty much anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Whether it's if you live in the city, even, you can open the windows, and if you have just a plant on your windowsill, you're probably going to find bugs in there. So anywhere you go in the world, there's going to be some interesting bug to be seen, and some interesting stories doing fascinating things. But my favorite place, I think, is the rainforest. So I'm really lucky to have been to the Amazon rainforest and the rainforest in Borneo in Southeast Asia. And it's because the different bugs that you can see in a rainforest, it's like nowhere else on planet Earth. So there are really interesting things flying around you all the time, the big moths and beetles, butterflies, and just a diversity of amazing things. Lots of them are trying to eat you as well. So there are lots of mosquitoes and insects trying to bite you. But that's all part of the excitement.
Yeah. Do any bugs scare you?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Oh, I don't think they do. There are some bugs, even the the kind of wasps that people get scared about, wasps or yellow jackets, that kind of thing, where that can sting you. They scare some people, but the more time I've spent working with bugs, the more I realize that none of the bugs are really out to get you. Even those bugs that can sting you, they're just trying to defend their family. They're trying to look after their babies. And so as long as those insects that can sting, for example, that some people find scary, if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. And so I don't think there's anything to be scared of, really.
Yeah. What can viewers expect if they watch A Real Bug's Life?
So they can expect to all of those stories that you've seen, if you've ever watched any kind of animal documentary before, where there are those really exciting things happening in really exciting places, you can expect to see all of those really fascinating stories. You'll fall in love with some of the bugs. Some of them you'll think of as a kind of strange character, but they're interesting nonetheless. And I think you can expect to see things that you've never seen before. You can expect to see things that you never expected even existed in real life. And you can watch it all knowing that it's not fake. It's not like watching an animation or a film. It's all real. We filmed it and filmed real behavior, filmed these insects, these bugs doing really amazing things.
Yeah. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
That's all right. It's a pleasure. Really nice to talk to you, and I hope you enjoy A Real Bug's Life.
I will. And viewers, make sure you watch A Real Bug's Life. It comes out on Disney Plus in January. And are you in it? Is your face shown in it?
No, sadly, no. I don't look enough like a bug to be in the series. No, I was just behind the scenes when we were filming out there.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, new 7 questions and interviews are posted every Thursday. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Love you guys. Bye. 7 Questions with Emmy, brought to you by Timberline Home, whose showroom in Idaho Falls is waiting for you to explore.